All right. Apparently, we're live. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
like to be a punctual bunch, me and Robbie. But welcome
We put
to
the
Chill
punk in
Filters.
punctual.
What's that?
We put the punk in
That's
punctual.
exactly
Oi!
right. Oi. Oi to the world. And yep, welcome to the May 2022 Drink Along with Chill Filtered. We are drinking this week, or this month, we are drinking Templeton 10-year single barrel rye, specifically barrel number 2786. Is that on the little bottles, Robbie? The
2786.
2786?
Yep,
Nice. Glad
it
to hear
is.
that.
You're a good
And
labeler.
the proof is 104. It's a straight rye whiskey, as opposed to their standard release, which I believe is not a straight rye. And I believe they can pull off some special things when they don't call it a straight rye. We'll have to get into that on one episode. Whether we drink this on an episode or we drink their standard Templeton release, there is there's a good history to it. And by good, I mean controversial.
Ooh.
So first, if you're joining us right now, and you're not Brian Rapp and Miles Ferguson, who I've already explained, I would love to hear what you guys are entry buzzing on. So if you're hopped on, as you can see, the banner on the bottom of the screen, what's your entry buzzing on?
Oh, there it is.
Make sure to hit the
What are
subscribe
you
or
entry buzzing on,
smash the
Cole?
subscribe button and give us a like and whatever. I don't know. What do people say?
What are
these
you
days?
buzzing on there, Cole?
That is a great question. I am buzzing on Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. I got about a quarter of a bottle left, if not a little less. But it's a strong quarter of a bottle because it's about 133 proof on this guy. So,
Nice.
and I think I need another, re-entry.
Might as well. We'll warm that palate up.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you mow your lawn yet this weekend?
What's that?
Have you mowed your lawn yet?
I did. I actually did right after we recorded on Friday.
Okay, good.
And I didn't like it. I luckily Heather was like, "Hey, I'll help," and so she did the back. I did the front. The back's a little easier. So,
gotcha. I was picturing because it's a push mower, like maybe you were pushing and then you like tied a rope to the front of the mower and she put on a harness and was just like powering through the yard.
Hey, working together. That too. Yeah. Or maybe she like mowed uphill so long that her motor or her mower got melted by the sun and she had to come down.
Yeah. So. Cole's doing the old re-entry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. We haven't used re-entry in a while. That was how it all got started, I think. We were like, I'm going in for a re-entry.
We haven't done the re-entry because we haven't recorded in the same room together. Mm-hmm. Because that's a back-to-back episode thing.
Yeah, that's usually what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess we don't have to. Well, no.
Hey, well, maybe you should skip your Cancun trip and come out to Virginia.
Sorry, you're not cool enough.
Oh no.
Yeah, I am. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, what are you entry buzzing on? I was just about to ask.
I got a little bit of 1792 sweet wheat because that was the closest thing that I have opened.
That's a full bottle, or was that a Caleb Wilson's old joint?
That's a full bottle.
Ooh.
Well, it's partially full. I had some friends come. Have some. So.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's.
When was this?
Now. Oh, a month, 3 months ago.
You had 3 friends 3 months ago?
No.
Oh.
By friends,
I made it up and drank it all yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, but I like it. It's fairly delish. I know cool. You're not a big 1792 fan, are you?
To my recollection, and I might be wrong. I have never been blown away by Barton juice. I was talking to someone. I forget. It might have been Miles or someone. Or
is Miles moving?
Yeah, dude. He's moving to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, not Delaware, because that would be lame. Yeah.
I didn't know there's a Wilmington in Delaware.
It's the capital of Delaware. No, Dover's the capital of Delaware. It should be the capital because it's probably the largest city in Delaware is Wilmington.
See, I have no clue about East Coast stuff. Really just...
What's the capital of Oregon?
Eugene.
Nope.
Not Eugene?
Nope.
What is it?
Salem.
You're right.
Yep.
But that's not Massachusetts.
I know more about the West Coast than you do.
You maybe just know more about capitals than I do.
That's true.
You capitalist pig.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Yeah, Miles says you'll probably hate Cancun.
This will be the worst.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of excited because so the family we're going with, there's a father and they have a son. So we'll be the only three boys.
Traditional nuclear family.
Well, they have two girls.
Throw it off right there. Not 2.5 kids.
But I think we're going to buy some rompers for the boys to wear one night.
Nice.
I've never owned a romper. And to me, that sounds maybe not good. But
are you going to be on a boat? Are they pastel colored?
No, I don't know. I haven't ordered them yet. It's going to be like will be some pinks and teals in it. So yeah, some pastels, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to finish my buzz here.
Yeah, let's finish this entry buzz. In the meantime, if anyone else is on, hit us up. It's always frustrating. Not frustrating. It's always like, how do I like spread the word as best as possible so that we can get as many people joining at the right time? But either way, the drink alongs get the most views out of all of our videos at this point in our YouTube journey.
See, Brian would have said Eugene too.
Yeah, Brian would have been dead wrong.
And Cole would have no problem calling you an idiot, apparently. No. Jeez. Oh.
You know who wouldn't have got that wrong is Miles Ferguson, because that's high proof. We
were singing Michael Jackson before we got on.
I was actually saying, will you be there? But he doesn't often hee in that song, but he goes, he doesn't even chamoun in that song. He mostly does, what is that? More so like repeating the lines. Like it'll be like, I'm lonely sometimes. So
I honestly have not listened to it. Oh, you know who I am going to go see that also likes Michael Jackson a lot? I got tickets to go see maybe the world's greatest musician ever.
The Beatles.
Better than the Beatles. It's like a one-man
Oasis.
Beatles.
Oasis.
No, it's a one singular man who's better than
Liam Gallagher
in the world. No, man, I'm going to see Mr. Yankovic.
That's great. I was literally quoting him. Like, was it on the podcast that I quote? No, I quoted him to someone else recently.
You talk to other people?
Yeah, I have. I don't call them friends. Maybe all acquaintances. Maybe it was Miles. No, I talked to someone and quoted. No, it was my brother-in-law. I said, the Party at the Leper Colony, circa Poodle Hat album. And there's a guy in the hot tub. I don't know who. Din, 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 din. Wait a minute. It looks like stew.
Brian, I'm with you. I am not a podcast or a YouTube watcher. I prefer audio medium. So I'm with you.
Yeah, and I can't watch YouTube really at work. Even though I can, I feel weird doing it. Yeah. So I'm much more of a podcast guy because I will listen either at work or on the road. So I
do on my iPad. Will download ADHD whiskey just so I can watch when I'm doing like data entry at work.
He's so good. And when he joins,
that's about the only time.
He's usually he makes a cameo.
He did it again.
All right, boys. Let's crack these bottles.
Into it.
Let's give it the old cork pop first, at least on my side. Ooh, this is in there. It's gonna make a noise. I guess. So.
Ooh, that was nice. No, it came across really well in the audio. It was full-bodied noise.
This glass is brought to you by a recommendation from John Hughes. So, John, if you're listening now or later,
he's not. There's only two.
I know, right?
Still only two.
We love the two that are listening. That's for sure.
Two on this side of the camera, two on that side of the camera. This is the best double YouTube date we've ever had. You know?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna, since there's not very many people here, I do want to share my idea, and I'm gonna talk to my art teacher about this. Because a lot of people like whiskey, a lot of people like coffee, and those Venn diagrams, those circles intersect pretty heavily. So I'm gonna talk to my art teacher, and I'm gonna have him try to make me a ceramic Glencairn, a little bit bigger, kind of like what you got there from John Hughes. With
that's what art teachers are for.
Dude, Mr. Axel is the best art teacher.
He'll be the next Cornblow.
He very well could be.
I hope he throws it, and I hope you don't throw it when you get it from him.
Ooh, apricot!
I didn't even sniff, Brian. Thank you.
It's definitely sweet.
Actually, Brian, that's a great note.
Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have read that before I started sniffing because I don't know if I'm being influenced by it, but it's
apricot fruit and a little bit of that like like amaretto almondy, to be
Oh,
honest.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so a 10-year 104 proof single barrel rye, that's like pretty special.
You get
This is
a
very good.
slight hint of medicinal.
I'm
Very
not getting
slight,
that.
though. I mean, it's
Not
just,
getting
it's
that.
barely there.
I
Go that way a
am
little
very
bit.
pleased with this nose. Typically with ryes, you can get a very bright, hard candy, like I always say, note, but this is like very, on the nose at least, it's very sweet, like fruity, apricot-y sweet
It's
that I normally am
definitely
used to a little more depth of sweet. But this is, it's not depth. It's just
pretty
very
singular.
bright, like brighter than
Yeah.
normal.
It also, it doesn't have a lot of rye spice to it. It's almost more bourbony. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a bourbon if I didn't know it was a rye. It's a little bourbony.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was an Irish on first note.
You think
like
so?
a strong Irish. No, it'd be like a mixture between a rye and an Irish, to be honest.
Okay, so you say that, and I started thinking like the sweetness is there. It's almost like a sherry butt kind of finish sweetness, not like a sherry way, but oh man, sherry's butts. But it has like that level of sweetness that a sherry finish does.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's a great nose.
All right, I got to put this down in a moment, but I got to give it a little more spin J.
What was the proof on that again? 104. My first sip tasted hotter than that.
That's a great palate to me.
It's nice.
Brian's saying cherry, a little more woody. I get cherry, but I get I get apricot more than cherry, to be honest, which reminds me of a great amaretto, a cherry and apricot. Wow. I'm getting like stupid apricot, like fleshy, juicy.
That was my nickname in high school.
Yeah.
Stupid apricot.
Yesterday. I'm not even going to remember it at all, but it was a great moment where I was like, that's a song of my people, Heather. But if only I remembered it.
I'm definitely it's pretty oaky. There's a lot of oak on this for sure.
Way more sweet on Templeton. Yeah, I'm with you, Brian. I love this. I've never gotten so strong apricot flesh.
Do you get oak though?
I'm not
getting the oakiness, because to me, I'm actually
getting
picking up
pure
on
fruit.
I typically don't pick up on the oak. I'm picking up on this, and I know I feel like if I were to pick up on it, you would probably hate it. So I'm surprised that you're not. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Maybe that sweet wheat's got me a little confused.
Yeah, I hate to seem like I'm No, really what it comes down to is Brian nailed it with that apricot note. That's what I'm getting. Oh, wait. So Patricia, Miles's wife, Miles's amazing wife, picks up on the amaretto, but also some smoke. And I can get that. Like it's not like straight amaretto, but it is reminiscent and very present in that like apricot. Because so for those who don't know, amaretto is basically vodka that's steeped in apricot kernels, which are within that seed, within the apricot. That looks very similar to almond, but you don't see it everywhere as an almond because there's apparently a decent amount of not arsenic. It's what's the other thing?
Arsenic, right?
No, it's
arsenic's in apple seeds.
Oh, is it? No, it's
Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah, no, it's Salem, Oregon.
I always meant.
Yeah. No, it's not arsenic. It's starts with an A, I want to say.
I get a little bit of the
you'll like seize up with it. Like, I forget what it is. Like
cyanide.
Cyanide. Boom. Not starting with an A.
I get a little bit of the rye spice on the back end of this. And it kind of finishes it with like a honey sweetness to it too. Like
I'm with you.
On there. But,
and it's a bright sweetness that you typically don't get on a bourbon.
Right.
And on a rye, it's like it could be a baking spices bright sweetness, but this is very fruity to me. But I'm gonna drop a drop or two.
First of all, I love the name Patricia. Patricia is my mother's name. I think it's a beautiful name. She hates it. So Patricia, thanks for joining us. That being said, I'm a little frustrated because I thought we were having just a double date here. And Miles brought along his wife. So technically,
am I giving enough?
Glad they're joining.
And you know what's funny? Patricia knows exactly what I'm talking about. Name that band, Miles Ferguson / Patricia.
I don't know that song.
And Miles spelled sweeter wrong, but I like sweater for sure. What did Brian say? I love the Amaretto note too. You know, I honestly like if you can give me a rye that is not has any what do you call it? Like yeah, suddenly we got a fifth wheel here. No, but what Brian was saying earlier about the amaretto note, that is if I can get a rye that tastes like amaretto without adding any flavor, I'm in. So I'm actually loving this. And Miles got it right, local natives, or maybe Patricia got it right. I actually Patricia and Miles's daughter, Rachel, I saw at a local natives concert, which I didn't expect to see her at. But I saw her there years ago. I mean, it was years ago. Wait, was Patricia there? No. Maybe she was.
You digress, but okay. I am loving this with water. This,
forgot to add water.
I prefer.
Wait, no, I just did, but I haven't sipped it yet.
I saw you got your bottle. Okay, yeah. I love this with water. It, the viscosity is, and it feels wetter. Surprise! No, like the viscosity goes way down on it, but it just feels refreshingly light on the palate.
It's better.
It is better to me. And like the sweetness is still there. There's no bitterness. Like,
it's like apricot brandy. Heyo, like seagrass.
Miles cheated.
That's okay, Miles.
Speaking of surprise people you see at a concert, it reminds me of a time I went to a George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars concert in college, and I was there with a bunch of friends. And one of my friends that was there was Mark Egger. And we're all just like, it's a long show. Like, it's like a 6-hour set by one man.
I believe it, with George Clinton.
And they just have people going off the stage, coming on the stage, songs slowly change. It was pretty sweet. But all of a sudden, we see this girl with red hair come out. Mark Egger's got red hair. And Mark Egger all of a sudden, it's my sister. What's my sister doing on stage? And she's just dancing, and Mark's like, "What is she doing on stage?" Anyway, that was my
get off the stage, woman.
That was my favorite surprise appearance ever at a concert.
That's great.
The volume did increase when I added water too. Very interesting.
I'm curious what'll happen when we add ice. Foreshadowing. Speaking of seagrass, yeah, Brian is couriering us a package with some goodies.
And I still
including seagrass non-16 year.
And I still got my what is it, the cast strength, whatever we just did. I got a little bit. I'm waiting when we get that. Nice. I'm gonna compare. I will do a little comparison there. So
I'll do it with
I'm excited for that
actual bottle.
So one of my big regrets, Miles, after I saw George Clinton, was I got an awesome shirt. It was so sweet, and now I don't know where it is, and I wish I still had it. I don't know.
I was watching a show recently. Maybe it was like How I Met Your Mother or something like that. But George Clinton was like a cameo in it. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah. I like it. What was Bill Clinton's brother's name? Was his name George? I know Bill Clinton had a brother, and I want to think that he got in trouble too. And it always cracked me up that George Clinton. I thought it was George Clinton, and I thought that they had.
It would be great, especially the fact that Bill Clinton plays the saxophone.
Oh my gosh.
Fits into that kind of jazzy scene.
A little bit of licorice.
Licorice.
I see it going that way.
Yeah. Wait, Miles is like quite the audiophile. Even though he got the local natives question wrong, he
got it right. He had to use the old lifeline and phoned a friend.
Yeah, that's okay. That's allowed, but only once. And then you got to ask the audience.
Mm-hmm. And luckily, Patricia's in the audience still too.
Exactly. So you get to use one or the other. What do we say? I'm hoping you don't convince me to buy a 250 bottle with your comparison. You know, I have a feeling, Brian, that like the standard seagrass is close to as good, and we'll find out.
Oh no, we did like the whatever. What do we have? Seagrass 16 year.
Yeah,
and it was good. It was really good. But I don't think I wouldn't have paid that.
If I were to do it again, I'm not going to buy me another $250 bottle. Yeah. But I have a good feeling, like I said, that the standard seagrass blue, green label will be just as good.
So
for
on
$90.
The back end, I think there's definitely like a mentholy, the way licorice can almost get like in that same feel where it just lingers a little bit, like it's minty, mentholy. I can see the anise licoricey kind of taste on the back end.
This glass is too bulbous. I'm getting so strong nose notes on this thing that I'm like, oh, this is too much.
Well, sometimes
it's not too much. So I blame John Hughes. When you listen later, John, hit us up. Love you.
If your glass hole is so bulbous, you get nose all the way in it, it's probably going to be too strong, Cole.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if I had my Waterford snifters, this would be way too much. And that's the thing. Here's something to say is that it smells and the nose seems a lot stronger than 104 proof, at least with this glass.
Well,
fire in the hole.
Fire in the hole. Oh,
I got a big cube, man, and I can't break it down. I can't bite ice. I cannot.
You go, Cole. Okay. You over iced that bulbous glass hole for sure.
Your mom over iced this bulbous glass hole. You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah,
Cole, I don't know what she should have gone there because that sounded pretty.
That did sound pretty bad, which I like somewhat regret.
I'm about to hop through this router.
But my your mom jokes usually just repeat what I hear, but that was kind of incriminating.
That was a little crass there, my friend.
Yeah. So I am sorry, listeners, especially Patricia.
Patricia Sudelo's a saint. You keep her name out of your mouth.
We used to say that in high school about my friend Matt. He'd be like, Sue Fisk is a saint, Cole.
I don't know if I got enough ice in here. I got to go back to my mouth chunks.
Hey, double Miles, because you get double the ice bite. Yeah.
Oh, some fell in there too. That might be my new technique.
Yeah.
Just like a little hey, what?
Go ahead.
No, I was just kind of like a little shaved ice machine.
My glass is colder.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Brian's saying it's more apricot on the ice.
It is. I would say the
smell is
the little medicinal note, and then like some of the sweetness dropped off, but I'm getting more like the fruit sensation.
And no bitterness, at least on my part. I don't know if your medicinal includes bitterness, but
no, medicinal's not always. I don't think medicinal's bitter. Like I remember Adam used to always have like Band-Aids. Like Band-Aids can be medicinal, and then there's always like that cherry cough syrup flavor, like medicinal. Yeah. And this was more on the light, slightly latex Band-Aid side of the note that I was getting, but it's not there with ice for sure.
This is great with ice. You're right, Brian. I actually get. He says on the nose he's getting more ice, but on the palate, I'm getting a very clean apricot taste.
This is delicious with ice.
Yeah, no, I can drink this after.
Oh man, this. Oh, folks, I don't know. I think this might be our first YouTube live. Hubba to what? It's
pretty good.
I mean, it was good, neat. It was really good, neat, and I liked it better with water. And then I friggin' love this with ice. Like this, just across all three facets, is like.
It's
surprisingly good. It really is
so different than your average rye in flavor, especially.
And it's one of those things too, where it's like, I mean, like if I were kind of like how I like the progression of this with ice, water, and neat, I would say, oh, we're probably drinking like Japanese, right?
Yeah,
because that's typically the way a Japanese goes. I wouldn't guess a rye. So yeah, I like this.
The fruitiness. You know, like the fruitiness I typically get from a Japanese is like more apple-y. But this is like, I would say apple versus apricot, apples and oranges. Literally.
Well, no, not literally. Because
I guess not literally.
It'd be like apricots and apples.
Metaphorically.
Literally.
Yeah. Like theoretically. But anyway.
No.
Yeah, I know, not literally, I'll tell you that. But any other Oli. But yeah, this is great. And I feel like I'm like with the entry buzz of like at least an ounce and a half, maybe at least an ounce
codependently
of Jack Daniel's single barrel proof at 133
and then
a 104 for at least an ounce and a half. I'm like getting a re-entry buzz right now.
It's good. This is So what's the price on this bottle again? I probably should listen more closely when
I
you
think
talk
I
about
spent
stuff.
like 80 or 60 to 80 range.
That's I think that's worth it.
Yeah, no, I'd buy this more. This is like Hubbard of What starts with. I've never had a rye like this before.
I've never looked for this.
Brian, you ask how easy is this bottle to find? Well, I found a ton on the Total Wine shelves a few months ago before I moved.
I'm getting
especially the Queen Creek one. I think that's where I got this.
Sorry, the longer I'm sitting here, I'm starting to get like a pretty heaver. What's Cole and Hever doing? I'm getting a pretty heavy.
That's a whole story.
I'm getting a heavy, like just really pronounced peppery note. Like the longer I sit here,
get that actually.
My mouth is just
on the finish,
cracked black pepper. Yep,
on the finish. Yeah. Which isn't like overpowering, but it is there. It's definitely
it's and the thing is, like, I haven't had a sip for a little while, and it's there. I'm like, it is kind of nice, a little spicy in that regard.
Brian, I don't know about the Templeton 8, but I wouldn't trust it as much as this, to be honest. This is special. Just like my dad told me every night. No, that's not true. But my friend James, every night his dad walked into his bedroom and said, "Good night, James. You're special."
Oh.
And he
every night I walk into my girl's room and I say, "I'm not coming back in here. If I have to come back in here, there will be blood."
The funny thing is that's literal.
No, I think that's the tricky thing with twins is, like, they play, like, with Amara, it was very much like, "Okay, time for," and like they play a little bit. And, you go back in a little while later and be like, "Hey, honey, it's time for bed." "Okay, Daddy." With the twins, they just play and work off each other, and you come in there, you bust in, boom, everybody get down.
Everybody, it's like in Tommy Boy, where it's like, "All right, this will only take a minute," and like everyone gets on the ground, and the cops throw their guns towards what's his name? What was his name? Not Will Ferrell. Why was I thinking Will Ferrell? Tommy Boy.
Chris Farley.
Farley. I knew it's Farley Ferrell. It was pretty close.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start looking for it too. I've never thought to look for it, but this is.
I would buy this again. Luckily, I got 2/3 of a bottle left. So noise. Chris Farley. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Everyone was there except for Cole. Hey, exactly. Cole, what's the capital of Black Sheep?
It's definitely David Spade.
Yeah, no, it's Chris Farley. You idiot.
Oh, crap. Yeah.
So the funny thing is, I did my last bit of the pour there, and you know what I did it with? A little bit of ice.
Your mom? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wait, I didn't even mean it like that. That sounds terrible. Oh, man. Here's the problem with me doing your mom jokes is they're actually offensive, and I didn't mean them to be so offensive.
I think you need to retire that, buddy.
Yeah.
Just don't.
This is Cole in his sheltered self. Is like, yeah.
Oh, man.
Every night Robbie walks in and says, "Pull my finger."
Juniper is a girl after my own heart.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad it's Juniper and not Finley, because Juniper needs a good pull my finger joke.
Finley is a daddy's girl for sure. Like, we dropped the pickup off, and she's like, "This is the only one that wanted to ride with daddy in the truck."
Yeah.
And then, like, we sat, and she's like, "This is so nice and so peaceful." It wouldn't shut up, and she was just loving it. But Junie's a girl after my own heart. She's sitting on Chelsea's lap this morning, and she was just looking at mom and goes, "Does it kind of smell like toots?" And then like, a little bit like,
"Daddy's a tootie butt." Oh, that's great. All right, we got 1 minute left. Time to retire. Thank you for our 2 contributors.
Are we gonna give a rating?
Week. Oh yeah, I give
you
this.
Look like you're closing. You sound like you're closing out.
We can go over 30 minutes here. So I'm gonna give this a 9.1. I really enjoyed this. I think I've never had a rye that tasted so much like not only apricot, but one of my favorite flavors, the orgeat, which is also pronounced as orgeat. Which is kind of an almondy note, which is similar to an amaretto note. But I wonder how this tastes in a whiskey sour, because I love an amaretto sour.
I could see that.
Yeah. So 9 point. Did I say 1? 9.1.
You said 1. Brian's at 9.0.
I like that.
Miles, Patricia, where are you at? Miles,
you got to bring it home. What exactly? What 9 point? What?
I'm going 9.2 on this.
Okay.
Apricot is what it's got. Now remember that. This is Hubbard.
Don't
what
start
for
a
sure?
riot.
You feel it when your tongue gets hot.
Yeah, exactly.
So add the ice because ice was great.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about 9.2. Miles, man after my own heart.
Yeah.
That's the thing I really love about this is like, seriously though, would you ever, if we weren't doing it for the show, would you have ever done water and ice on this?
I wouldn't have thought of it.
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Like that's something I love. So,
but which reminds me, try it with a whiskey sour. That's like the next thing I'm going to do with this bottle is try it.
Brian's doing a old fashioned with walnut bitters, and that sounds great. Oh
yeah. Except I'm allergic to walnuts. So
Miles and I mind melded on this one. 9.2. Yeah. Said it, typed it before I said it. Latency. Yeah. Anyway.
So Brian, Miles, you guys are the best.
Patricia.
Am I loving enough? And for all those listeners who listen late, because like I said, our drink alongs always get the most views out of all of our videos.
Huge amount of views. Like 15 plus.
Like a million views. No, we're still working up our YouTube presence.
I don't care. It's what it is.
Yeah. And actually, to be honest, we are actually still we are growing in listening views on podcast world, but we're still also growing on YouTube views. So we're growing. We're growing on growing. So I hope you guys had a great time. Brian, Miles, I hope old fashioned with antique cold juice. I don't get it.
Cool. I hope that you grow enough as a human in mature ways and retire your mom jokes.
Yeah. And
because
Robbie,
that was the drama and discord that could bring a podcast down.
And luckily, Robbie, I hope your mom learns to do something. Hope your mom listens to the podcast.
Are you allergic to walnuts, Cole?
I am actually allergic to walnuts. Yeah.
No, not terrible. Solid, Brian. Solid joke because I didn't even know he was allergic to walnuts.
Yep. But most of all, listeners,
I hope you're not allergic to walnuts. Now we're going to go into a PSA here on anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
And what it does, that's where we've been trying to get you for the last 200 plus episodes of Chill Filtered. It's all been warming up to allergy talks. So we're now switching. Okay.
I will eat any good walnut encrusted carrot cake in the meantime. And Robbie, why don't you finish it out?
But most of all, you three, I hope our love of spirits
absolutely yours. Absolutely. Thanks for joining, guys. We'll see you next month.